Hey guys, Persephone Plasmids here, and today I'm going to be talking about the top 5 times that video games tried to kill me by scaring me to death. A spoiler warning is in effect for the following games.
Who are you?
My name is DeWitt. I'm a friend.
We're just gonna go with the obvious right now. Bioshock is my favorite game in the entire world, and when I say Bioshock, I mean all of them. Bioshock 1 and 2 and Infinite and Prey, because that's Bioshock 4. Unpopular opinion time, Bioshock 2 is my favorite. It has a good story, even if Ken Levine didn't work on it. Fight me. Don't really, though. So, for my first jump scare, I would say the one that got me the most was in Bioshock Infinite, only because I didn't expect it. The point where Elizabeth is taken from you and you have to go in and get her from that insane asylum type of place. And I can't even honestly remember exactly what you're doing, I just know that you go up to a console. When you turn around, one of the Boys of Silence is standing right behind you.
Should be able to head downstairs and get to Elizabeth now.
I think the reason that this jump scare got me so much was just because it was unexpected. The thing that I really love about Bioshock 1 and 2 is how scary they are. They feel like survival horror games more than a first-person shooter. Bioshock Infinite didn't really have that sense of horror because you weren't in like a super enclosed space like you were in Bioshock 1 and 2. Bioshock Infinite, on the other hand, was very bright and open, and you were out in open air and there were people around that weren't trying to kill you all the time. So it just had a very different feel. Most of Bioshock Infinite is not very scary. There are scary parts, but that's why I wasn't expecting the jump scare with the Boys of Silence. So my next one is Oxenfree. That game is incredible. The art style is amazing. The whole thing is just so well done. It has an amazing soundtrack. I am so excited for After Party from Night School Studio. I have played Oxenfree, I think, 8 times. I believe it's 8 times that I've played that game. If you haven't played Oxenfree, stop watching this video, go play it, and then play it again, because I feel like it's even more amazing the second time. Finished it, and then I immediately went to go play it again, and the first thing I noticed was that there was no new game button. There was just a button that said continue with a question mark, which I thought was odd, and right off the bat you start playing this game and you start realizing that it's the same game, but you're not starting a new game. You're playing the same one that you've been playing, you're just starting over at the beginning again, and things are a little bit different. Oxenfree, there's so many points throughout your second and like consecutive playthroughs where the screen will just glitch out. It just glitches out, it flips upside down, it makes this really loud static sound, and sometimes it'll just replay the same scene over and over again, sometimes it'll just replay the same scene over and over again. But it's terrifying. Oh my gosh, because you don't expect it. And it happens randomly. It doesn't happen like, oh, it's triggered by this action or it's triggered by this thing. I mean, I'm sure it is, but it doesn't seem like it. It's not ever at a time when you would expect your screen to suddenly flip upside down.
Right? To the island. I mean, that's what Ren made it sound like.
Yeah, but I mean...
You used to come here a lot as a kid, right? You used to come here a lot as a kid.
Something's wrong.
So every time that would happen, I would like fall off of the couch and drop my laptop because it just scared me so badly, but it's so amazing. So make sure you go check that game out. One of the biggest jump scares that have ever like gotten me in video games and that stuck with me for so long was in Bioshock 2. Now, with Bioshock 2, I expected scary things to happen because Bioshock 1 was scary, and Bioshock 2 obviously is the same kind of feel, but I don't think that I expected it to get this scary. But there's a point in Bioshock 2 where you have to walk down this long hallway and there are dead splicers everywhere, and so you expect that when you get to the different doors of apartments and things that there's probably going to be something inside that you have to fight. What I wasn't expecting is that some of the splicers were actually alive and were just playing dead. And so as you're walking down this dark hallway, these dead splicers are coming up and grabbing you and attacking you just out of nowhere, and it was terrifying. It also happens at another point in Bioshock 2. Actually, I think it happens a few times, but there's another point where you go into an apartment where there were a bunch that followed you into the room, and you have to turn around and go back out of the room, but they all lay down on the ground like they're dead. And I remember coming around the corner and thinking, I don't think there were this many dead splicers before. Like, there were some in here, but there weren't this many, and that's when they all popped up and attacked me. Almost was scared to death, so that was fun too. So as a little baby gamer, when Resident Evil 1 came out, I remember I actually didn't even play Resident Evil 1, at least not until I was much, much older, because of this one jump scare. I think you all know which one I'm talking about. I remember very distinctly the game had just come out, and it was my brother's birthday party, and he was having a sleepover with all of his friends, but me being the gamer that I am, I was like, oh, I want to watch you guys play Resident Evil. The part where the dog jumps through the window happened, and we all lost our crap. It was so scary. I just remember that me, little baby gamer over here, and a bunch of teenage boys who I thought were so tough, all screaming like the most blood-curdling, high-pitched screams you have ever heard in your life. And it was hilarious, but it was really scary, and I think I was scarred for life because I really don't like Resident Evil games. Mostly, I think, because I've been conditioned to be like, Resident Evil, nope, dogs jumping through windows, not doing it, we can't do this. So that was like my earliest memory of a jump scare in a video game, and it has scarred me for life.
Good morning, Morgan. Today is Monday, March 15th, 2032. You have a 9 a.m. appointment with Alex in his office.
Bioshock 4, aka Prey. Even though I know it's not made by the same studio or developer or whatever, it's Bioshock 4, let's be honest. It's Bioshock in space, it's fine. There are a lot of points in that game that have made me jump. Pretty much any time I encounter a mimic or a poltergeist, every time I see a mimic or a poltergeist, I basically just like take the wrench out, even though I have guns, and I just start hitting things randomly and just hoping that I will like make contact. I like lose all sense of balance and aim and strategy, and I lose my cool, and it just turns into this mad, enraged frenzy of swinging a wrench around and forgetting that I have, you know, Typhon abilities and guns and things like that.
This isn't a dream. It's a nightmare. There's no room for uncertainty. There's no room for doubt. We're all lost.
The part that really got me was actually on my second playthrough of Prey. Because I was taking a lot more time to kind of enjoy the atmosphere and do all of the side quests and, you know, just really take the game in because I knew what to expect, kind of. But I went into this medical bay, and when the doors opened, there's a corpse stuck in the doors so that when you open them, it's like standing there and then it falls down. I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure it was not as scary as I'm making it sound, and you're gonna see the clip and be like, that's not that scary. But at the time, for some reason, I think it was because I expect to see a mimic, and I expect to see poltergeist, and you expect to see all of these other things aboard Talos 1, but I did not expect a corpse to be standing on the other side of the door and then fall down when I open it. That game is so great. So there you have it. Those are the top 5 times that video games have tried to jump scare me to death. There are actually a lot more than 5. Okie Dokie Literature Club, Bendy and the Ink Machine, so many things in the Rusty Lake games, many, many times in Limbo, and the very first Tomb Raider game, the giant T-Rex that comes at you, that thing scared me to death. Pretty much every game that I play scares me to death, even if it's not a horror game, because I am so easily scared. Tell me in the comments below what video games have just like ruined you, or at least scared you so much that you had to kind of stop playing for a minute, and what games they were so that I know not to play them. or so that I know to play them and record it and show you myself being a fool on camera, like I just was when I said that sentence that didn't make any sense. Yeah, that's all. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.